Assalamu alaikum, students. I hope you are fresh and fine, very eager to learn new things. And today we have really a new thing for you. The paper that was sent to you, that was 2012 November paper. And there was, in task one, there was a speech. You already know in your paper one, the task one will be directed writing, and in the directed writing, generally you will be given 1 out of 4 writing tasks. It can be a letter, you have already practiced one. The letter can be formal, informal as well. Then there can be a report. Report, inshallah, we'll do later on. And then there can be a speech and article writing. So today we have a speech. In the paper, if you read it, the question says, your best friend, who is a popular member of your class and the captain of the sports club, is leaving your school to move overseas. Overseas here means he is going abroad. On your friend's last day at school, you have been asked by your teacher, Mr. Johnson, to make a speech to your classmates, wishing your friend goodbye and good luck. Your speech, write your speech, you must include the following: the name of your friend and where your friend is going, why your friend is moving, what you and your classmates will miss about your friend. Cover all 3 points above in detail. You should make sure your speech is friendly and contains wishes for a successful future. Start your speech, Mr. Johnson and friends. Now please look at the board. There are a few areas that you have to keep in your mind. First of all, the occasion. What is the occasion? Whether it is a formal occasion or informal occasion. The question has made it very clear that your speech has to be friendly. Okay? Then another thing that is very important while writing a speech is your audience. Make it sure that what type of audience are there. Of course, in this speech, there is no outsider. It is only your teacher and your friends. Okay? And if your audience are friendly, your friends and maybe your familiar teachers, you can take liberty with the language and also with the expressions. Then the language. Generally, the language of a speech is very clear. Sometimes it can be very emotional, sentimental, and it can also, it depends on the occasion. It will depend on the occasion. Okay? But generally, we do not use very difficult, bombastic words in a speech. Even if it is a speech that is intended to motivate, encourage, or you may say, make your audience excited, exuberant about something, even then, the language has to be very clear and simple, because you are directly communicating. And you do not have the help of using punctuation marks. You will be just raising your voice, taking pauses in order to make yourself clear to your audience. Okay? Sometimes in a speech, the sentences are not complete. And this is the beauty of a speech, that a speaker may not finish each and every sentence fully, completely, but still it will convey the meaning. The message will be conveyed very clearly. Okay? If you listen to great speeches by great people, for example, there is a speech which I would suggest all of you to listen to. Uh, the speech by Martin Luther King is considered to be the best speech ever. Please do listen to it. This will show you how the sentences are formed, how the voice is raised and lowered, and how people are moved, touched. Okay? Then please, one more thing about speech is rhetorical questions. And what are rhetorical questions? Rhetorical questions are the questions which are intended not to be answered, but to engage the audience. For example, a speaker can say, wasn't it our friend Ali who achieved this impossible? So what is this? This is the rhetorical question. Then, don't you know, don't you remember, don't you love to see that time again? All these are rhetorical questions. Then, in a speech, you can also use direct address to some of the audience. For example, in order to make a situation a bit lighter, humorous, you can refer to some of the audience, maybe your class fellows, and make some light joke, make some light comment to keep the atmosphere light, humorous, and happy. For example, in this speech, now please listen, when we come to this speech particularly, it is a very important occasion. Your friend is leaving forever. And the question statement says that you have to wish him a brighter future. Good luck. It is a farewell. It is a farewell speech. Therefore, the words, the expressions that you have to use, they should be encouraging. Do not make this speech a sad one. A friend of yours is leaving, but this does not mean that you should make yourself and him sad. Although you will miss your friend a lot, but you also have to keep this thing in your mind that he is going abroad for a better future. Maybe to join his family, his parents, etc. And this will provide him great opportunities. This is going to open a whole new world of opportunities. Therefore, you should be full of good luck, good wishes, And also, you should be full of joy, happiness, thankfulness, and also you should look into future, brighter future of your friend. And please listen. Generally, a speech is ended by thanking your audience. For example, in this speech, the direction says, open, start your speech with Mr. Johnson and friends. You can begin the speech on a lighter note. For example, you can begin with a joke. You can you can directly call your friend. Came, our friend Ali is beaming. He is full of joy, but there is also some sadness on his face. So in this way, you can begin your speech. And when you are ending your speech, you only have to thank your audience. Okay? This is your task for today, but please, once again, I request you to finish it, to write the speech and email it to me maybe by tomorrow so that it can be checked and marked. The second part will be done next time because we still have to go through some of the scripts that were left yesterday. If I give you a few minutes, maybe a minute or so that you can be on next script 4. I assume you are ready for examining the script. Now please listen. First of all, this is the only script or creative writing task submitted by a boy. Usad. Usad is the writer of this creative writing. First of all, he is highly skilled in language abilities. His vocabulary is very rich. His sentence structures are very firm and also very accurate. And he is a great writer. I see him growing into a great writer. But once again, please, as we discussed yesterday, read the question carefully. This question, I was glad that my mother didn't give up, was about you. It was a first person narrative. First person narrative. And please, there is some misconception among students that you can write about anybody and then you can include this sentence. Maybe giving this sentence to another character. No, you cannot do this. This is first person narrative. Some very good expressions, but once again, please, once again, I would advise you go through the vocabulary that you have learned. Again, look up the words in a good dictionary and make it sure you know the real correct meaning of the words. I will just read some parts of this narrative. He begins, he was sound aloof. from waking up, though the sun was beaming through its utmost glory. Oh, the curtains, who opened them? Mum, he exclaimed as he began to open his eyes, and panic soon took over him. So this is a very good expression. Panic soon took over him. Excellent. Mom, you aren't supposed to be up and should be resting meanwhile. You just had your chemo done. The doc said that it wouldn't be good for your health to not to rest. Now please keep this thing in your mind. This is a grammatical, you may say, point. Whenever there is not, to will come after not to do this, not before. This is wrong. The doctor said not to. The only problem with this expression is this attempt is, writing is, the writer has used some unusual words. He perhaps didn't check them up, but there are some beautiful expressions. Now, when we come to the storyline, please come to the paragraph 3. The bell rang. Come to this paragraph. The bell rang. The bell rang, and now he was free to go home and see her mother. Please, whenever you write, do revise your work. Such minor mistakes can be avoided. And then head over. We do not say, if you are going in some particular direction, we do not use the expression head over. We use the expression head to, because you are going somewhere. Okay. And then head over for a night shift. His friend thought to visit. Now, one more thing. I think last week there was a point, okay, after preposition. After prepositions, we use gerund. By gerund we mean ing form of the verb. To visiting. Okay, this should be like this. His friend thought, actually the preposition is also wrong here. Thought of. Thought of is the correct expression. Thought of visiting Miss Richard too, as she now took her maiden's name since she was a divorcee. They both talked about her health till they reached the front door and did the goodbyes. No, we don't do goodbyes, we say goodbye. Okay? There the boy said, Alas, I am just glad that despite she knows her disease is fatal, my mother isn't giving up. So this is not the right way to use the line. The line, actually, as I said earlier, the narrative was a first person narrative. Now, some more merits of this work. Okay, number one, expressions are excellent. The writer of this script is excellent writer. He can achieve excellence by good practice. And the second thing is vocabulary. He is working on vocabulary development, but I advise him to look at words in the dictionary. Okay? And then the metaphoric language. Please, whenever you use metaphoric language, make it sure your metaphor, your simile, your other expressions, they are meaningful. Then in the last paragraph, this writer has made a few mistakes. For example, using second form after had. Please, these are some basic rules. Do remember them. Do remember a few of the basic rules of language. So this is rule number one. After do, does, did, always use first form of the verb. Then after has, have, had, always use third form of the verb. Okay? And then after to, infinitive. Always use first form of the verb. And I think I told you after modal verbs, and these are modal verbs. After all these modal verbs, always use first form of the verb. Okay? For example, here it is written, for example, this sentence, he want to, so once again, tense issues, he wanted to, he went to the cemetery, and God knows when the moonlight had taken over the sky, but he didn't left. It should be leave. Okay? But please listen, this is a very thick piece of writing, and the writer is full of ideas, full of thoughts, and he hopefully will greatly improve and achieve excellence in the final examination. But please, you cannot achieve excellence just by reading others' work. You yourself have to write. For example, one of the scripts that I am going to read after that writer or that student submitted two writings in one she got 24, but in the second one, she got 27. Really very, very excellent, appreciable, wonderful. Unfortunately, I have not included that 27 marks script here. Then please come to script number. Actually, I wouldn't be discussing script number 5 because there are some issues. There are some language slips and they are more than usual. Therefore, I am not going to discuss it. The, the introduction of speech, as I told you, whenever you bring in direct speech, set it off. So this writer has very intelligently set off the speech. Don't utter a word from your dirty mouth or otherwise. So, unfinished sentence. Okay? My father threatened as my mother sat petrified at one corner of the room. In one corner of the room. Now, please listen. Another very beautiful expression used here. Son, you go outside for a second. So this shows that it is a family drama. As two lines of glistening water oozed down her pale cheek. This is really, really very meaningful, wonderful expression. The examiner, as soon as he or she will read it, she will put a tick, merit. Excellent expression. Then she continues, I wiped her tears with a minor problem with the help of a tissue and strolled outwards quietly. Another metaphor. Quietly, like a sad puppy. Okay? There are some issues, but this writing is full of beauties. There are so many beautiful expressions which you should note. Please do read it carefully. And if you have any question, you can email the question to me. No, okay. अभी time है. But please listen. This year, the examiner commented on this question, and I have inboxed the examiner report to some of the students. If you are interested, you can ask me. I'll be sending it to you. Actually, this is with the script. You can read it very carefully, and if you have any questions, you can ask me. But please, once again, I request you to start writing because if you keep on resting, you will just rust and decay. And I do not want that you should decay and rust. Please start writing. Thank you very much.